Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Aditi and I hope you're absolutely safe and healthy. First of all, I want to thank all of you for not going anywhere. It's such a big deal for me. I thought if I'm not here for 2 months, there'll be a majority of population, my subscriber population, which will be like, okay Aditi, tata, bye bye, nice to see you, and they'll just forget about my channel. But you guys were actually taking out your time to ask me what happened. Have I left YouTube? What happened? Where are you? And that all just makes me feel very, very privileged and very, very happy. So I want to thank you all for your love and your concern and your funny jokes and your memes on Insta. I want to thank all of you. Now we will do a slight change on the channel. So what we're going to do is we are going to have just 2 series of videos on the channel. The first series will be design videos and the second series will be motivational or grooming videos. So this is a design video, the next video will be a motivational video, and then we'll do a design video, then a motivational video, then a design video, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so now as promised, today's video is about 5 of the best design colleges in the country. So the first college on our list is one of the most premium design institutes in the country, which is National Institute of Design, which is NID Ahmedabad. And to get into NID, you have to give your separate entrance exam, which is kind of a good thing because it has nothing to do with your 12th grade marks. So if you couldn't score very well, you don't have to worry about that, you know. That's the best part. So if you want to register for NID exam, you have to be very much aware of their online forms, which are available on the official website in the month of October and November. By the end of December, you get your admit card. First or second week of January, you give your first written test. And if you've done well in your written test, the results will be out in March. And then you will qualify for your second round, where you will have to go to NID Ahmedabad. You will have to go to Ahmedabad physically, and there you will have to give a studio test, a personal interview, and there will be a portfolio review also. Now the only constraint is that you can't be more than 20 years of age. The second constraint is that there is no syllabus. If there's a syllabus, then you know that you've studied well and you know you're going to clear the exam, but there's nothing like that in NID. You can only practice. You can only practice, you can develop your aptitude, but you can't really be assured that you've done enough to score very well. So that is kind of a difficult thing. Now let's talk about the second college on our list, which is IIT Bombay. Now if you want to study at IIT Bombay, you have to give the UCEED, which is the undergraduation common entrance exam for design, and the timeline for the exam is very similar to NID, which means in October, November you will get your forms, you have to apply, you will get your admit card in December, and then you will give your exam in somewhere in January, and the result will be out approximately in March. And then on the basis of your scores, you're allotted the IIT that you're eligible for. Now if you're an art student, let's say you've done humanities, or let's say you're a commerce student, then you can only apply to study design at IIT Bombay, IDC, and you can study at IIT DM Jabalpur. That's it. But if you have done science in your 12th grade, then you can study, then you can apply to study at IIT Hyderabad also and IIT Guwahati also. So you have more options, which means the chances of you studying at an IIT will definitely increase. Now another constraint is that you can't be more than 25 years of age, which I think is quite a lot of time for you to attempt, but you can only try 2 times consecutively. That is one thing you need to keep in your mind. To decide whether the IDC is good for you or NID is good for you, you can't really say that one design school is better than the other. They are for 2 different purposes. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can decide which one is going to be the best choice for you. If you're somebody who's very passionate about physics, maths, chemistry, you're very excited about how things work, the tech side of things, or how technology is involved and how you can make technology, how you can be creative with technology. Okay, so you like being creative, but at the same time you really love the technical side of all the products. If that is something which excites you, then you should go for IDC. And if you're somebody who is very dreamy, you love drawing, and you love colors, and you love imagining, and you love being creative, and you know how things work, you don't mind learning about it, but it's not your first thing, it's not your first thing that you're excited about, then go for NID. Because NID is a typical traditional design school. So when you decide how a thing is going to look aesthetically, how a thing is going to work, that is what NID is about. IDC is if you are a physics person, because while you're studying at IDC, there will be days or there will be times when you can collaborate with people, with engineers who are studying at the IIT Bombay campus. So if you are somebody who loves technicality, you will love collaboration. You will enjoy that process because you enjoy the subject. Now, talking about the third on our list is NIFT Delhi, which is National Institute of Fashion Technology. Now, when I say fashion design, it doesn't really mean it's just all about fancy wedding gowns and lehengas, and that's all you're going to do in a fashion design college. There is so much to fashion design. There is accessory design, there's knitwear design, there's leather design, there is of course there is the fashion design, but you can choose which thing you want to specialize in. Fashion does not mean only clothes. There are a lot of things which you need to, which you must see the official website, and you will understand that there are so many different options available, and it's not just limited to you wearing fancy clothes all the time. Okay, that's not what fashion design is entirely about. So to get into NIFT, again, there is a separate entrance exam, and the timeline is again very similar. October, November, you will get your forms, you fill in your forms. By December, you get your admit card, you get your confirmation, and then in the month of January, you give your first exam, which is the CAT, which is the Creative Ability Test, and you give your GAT, which is your General Ability Test. So if you've done well in the written exam, you'll be called for the situation test, and the situation test will be basically, you'll be given a range of materials and you'll be given options. You have to pick one option and you have to make a model out of those given materials, and then you have to write and you have to explain why you made this model. Okay, it's very interesting. So you have to do all of that, and on the basis of your creativity and how well your working skills are, you get your ranking, you get your scores, and if your scores are good, then you get into the best NIFT institutes. That's how it just works. The only constraint for NIFT is that you can't be more than 23 years of age, and there's no constraint whether you have to be a science, arts or commerce student. Everybody can apply. Now let's talk about the fourth college on our list, and this is for architecture. If you want to study bachelor's of architecture, then one of the most premium architecture colleges in the country is IIT Roorkee or IIT Kharagpur. Now both of these colleges are equally premium, and if you want to study at any of these institutes, you need to give your JEE main, which is not a good news because it's quite a rigorous exam, and after that you have to give your JEE advanced, and after that you have to give your architecture aptitude test. It's quite a rigorous process, but once you get through all these three exams and you've done pretty decent, that's how you can secure your place at one of these two IIT colleges where you can study architecture. So you have to give in your 5 whole rigorous years, and after that, once you come out of it, the salaries or the job opportunities, the placements will definitely not be an issue, because since you've done so much of hard work to get into the college, it will all pay off once you graduate. So definitely nothing to be worried about. Now for the fifth on our list, I'm going to share with you the list of some of the best private colleges, design colleges in our country, and I'm not going to place them in order of their preference, because somewhere all private design colleges are in the same boat. No matter how good they will always have certain disadvantages if you compare it with a government college. The first disadvantage is that the fee for your study is nearly double as that of a government college, and the possibility of getting a scholarship is really less. The second disadvantage of a private college is that they have a very high acceptance rate, which means they invite a lot of students to study with them at the same time. So of course there are students who do really well, who are very hardworking, but then there are students who just don't want to study at all. So the overall level of competition in the college gets low, which is not good for the overall ranking of the college. The third disadvantage of a private college is that to get into your first job or to get your first internship, that is difficult. There are certain companies which look at your resume, and if they see a government college in somebody's resume, they make a decision on basis of that and they choose that person. Because since you're a fresher, they assume that you have no industrial experience and obviously you don't know anything about how companies work. So they make decision on the basis of the college that you've graduated from. So they assume that if you can make it to a very difficult government college, then you are a hardworking person. Well, obviously there are exceptions, and obviously there are people who come from private colleges and who are very hardworking, who travel the world, who get scholarships and whatnot. But those are exceptional cases. Of course, I'm talking about the average cases. Other than that, the course of study, the way the system, the way they teach you, that's not much of a difference. Let's say you've made it to 3 design schools, 3 private design schools, and you don't know which one to pick. So how will you understand? Well, now I'm going to tell you a list of things that you need to keep in your mind, and that will help you to make a better decision for yourself and choose the design school which is worth your money. The first thing that you need to ask yourself is the private college more than 10-year-old? No matter how good a private college looks, it should not be its first year or second year. You should not be the first batch or the second batch or the third batch. That's because when a design school is so young, okay, it's going to do a lot of experiments on you. You have to ensure that the curriculum has a clarity of thought and you're not part of an experiment. You want to go to a design school where the professors and the faculty know exactly what they have to teach you. The second thing that you need to keep in your mind is that your design school should have a separate entity. It should have a separate building. I have seen some design schools where they have the ground floor for media, and then there's design for few floors, and then there's engineering on the top. It's like a complete fruit salad. You don't want that at all. When you're studying, when you're giving it so much of money, you want to ensure that your building, that your space is completely devoted to design. Now, the third thing you have to keep in mind is that your college has proper accreditation to the state government. Once you apply for jobs, once you apply for your masters, so people will ask you, which college have you been to and how can you verify the college? Okay, they will need some source to verify your college. And for this, you have to ensure that your college is well accredited. Now, next on our list, again very important, you need to spend a little bit of your time going on the official college website, and you need to stalk your professors a little bit, okay? Like healthy stalking. So you need to open their profile, you need to see which colleges they have been from, and you need to check whether do they have a strong design background or not. You need to see which colleges your professors are coming from, because I mean, there are people who are really exceptionally good professors who have been to some of the best institutes. They have traveled the world and they can teach you so much about design, and it makes the entire experience so amazing. But there are also people who have a very technical background, and then they do a 6-month course in design and then they apply as a faculty in these design schools, which is not a good thing. Okay, now although I'm not really judging their knowledge of design, they must be very good designers, but they simply cannot compete with people who have done 20 years of design or 25 years of experience in design industry. So when you're going to a college, and if you're going to a private college, you have to ensure that your professors, your guides, your mentors are all exceptionally good designers who have had design experience. And with that, it's a wrap for today's video. I'm so happy I shot a video after so long. And this is all because of your love, because you all were there and you're so patient. So thank you once again. And if you have any more questions, if you want to request any more video topics, you can ask me in the comment section. And yes, I will answer as much as I can. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys very soon next week with a motivational video. Bye bye.